It's another beautiful day here in Fort William, Scotland, and today's important because it is by far the most Scottish track walk day that we will have all season.
Don't laugh at me.
I'm not. You just look so good.
No, welcome to Scotland.
What sort of challenges does this track present to riders?
I think it's long, so they struggle with tiredness at the bottom.
Tiring. I think putting a fast run together top to bottom is difficult.
I guess it's pretty physical course. Yeah.
Sometimes there's a crosswind on the motorway with the jumps, which can be really hard.
Yeah, I think it's pretty well known for being rough. There's a lot of rocks.
It's like a massive change from the top where there's boardwalk and sort of bike park gravelly stuff, and then you drop into the woods, which is like dirt and roots, and then you're back out onto sort of bike park stuff, so it's quite a contrast between the different sections.
I think we talk about the final boss of track walks like basically every track walk we do, because some of them are really steep, some of them are really rocky. This one feels like the actual final boss of track walk though, because it's really long. I can't imagine what it's like to ride it, because going from the bottom up like Jake and I always do is, it's a project that takes a lot of the day. So we're doing that. We're gonna talk to some athletes on the way up. We're gonna hang out with this sick umbrella Commensol let us borrow, and it's gonna be a good time. So let's go talk to Nina Hoffman. I wonder what Andreas Kolb thinks about all this. Let's go talk to Dakota Norton.
Are there many changes to the track? Is it good old Fort William?
I think Greg Menard is losing sleep at the moment. It's so smooth up there. It's not the traditional Fort William that we've seen. The track is the same layout as it historically has been, but it's much smoother. The corners have a lot more support. And I originally would have thought they would have blown up more, but we got some good rain today, and that I think will help hold the track together. So a much smoother, faster Fort William than I think we've seen in years past.
It's going to be a lot smoother. I'm not sure whether they're going to get a lot of hate from that or people are going to really enjoy it, but it will get rough again eventually. But it's your typical Fort William really. Because it's later in the year, the midges are out. I don't know if you can see them on this camera, but yeah, we're about to get eaten alive. We're going into the woods now, and
yeah, it's rough.
No, there is a lot of changes, so many new things, so it's really interesting. The main line stays the same, but they add some new stuff and put more gravel on the ground, so it looks cool.
Yeah, they've obviously done a lot of work, brought in a lot of gravel. I was here for the BDS a few months ago, and yeah, it's had a lot of work since then. But they've also left, like through here, it's still quite rough. It seems like they've just built up all the corners but left all the straights pretty rough, so I think it's still going to be quite difficult, and yeah, you got to be pretty precise with your line, but it's still good old Fort William.
It's like the same but different. Like, it's still Fort William, but they've just made it a lot nicer for us. I think filled in some holes, made a few little different sections, but mostly it's pretty similar to what we've seen for the past 20 years.
Do you want to give us an injury update? How you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. To be honest, I feel way better on the bike than I do like rolling around in bed. Because like, really? I'm still a little bit sore like above my head, but luckily we don't like, I don't do tuck no-handers and stuff, so yeah, so like on the bike, sweet. Did 3 weeks of riding in Canada, so we're good to go. Yeah, cool. Stoked to be here.
Track changed much, or is it going to be classic Fort William?
It's not really classic Fort William because they've kind of like dumbed it down a little bit. Bernie had a good analogy. He said they've made it like NASCAR, where it's really easy to like drive around the course but really hard to win. Because they've taken out some of the technical stuff and just made it a bit more of a highway, but it'll be sick. It's like high speed, and the course will like break up and stuff, and there's still heaps of tech, like classic Fort William.
So it'll be good.
Yeah, it has changed quite a lot. They've kind of like, some of the rocky straights, the berms, they've made like dead smooth. So you're like, yes, and then it's like, oh my God, gnarly. So it's kind of like typical Fort William, really gnarly, rocky straights. And then some of them are like lovely, brand new, smooth, gravel, bike park berms. So it's kind of a bit of both, really. I think overall, yeah, I think it's good. It looks a bit, maybe slightly less rough, like so overall it should be a bit, you know, maybe can attack a bit more and hopefully easier on the bikes and the body. Yeah, but
Nice.
yeah, it actually looks really good, yeah.
And if you had to pick one World Cup venue to live in for 5 years, what are you going with?
Wow, can it be like a historic one?
Yeah, of course.
For 5 years? Oh, it's not even Whistler, they've never had a World Cup.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably say Brazil, because that was like right on the sea, on the beach, and that was sick. Yeah, that was a really cool venue.
Nice, love it.
Beach venue.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm not going to Snowshoe. That's number one.
I think I will pick Val Nord in Andorra. It's a beautiful place and it's cool for everything.
Definitely not Mount St. Anne, too much maple syrup. I'll come out of there looking large.
Oh, that's a good one. Probably Cairns. I really enjoyed Australia. Hadn't been there before, and then when I went, really enjoyed it.
Does it have to be a current venue?
No. Anyone.
Austria, the gang.
Yeah?
The way of life is so nice there. Either there or Switzerland, actually. Switzerland could be good. Lenzerheide. Public transport is insane.
God, imagine if I was in Val di Sol for forever. I'd come out looking like Castaway.
5 years. I'd say probably Leger, something around there. It's a pretty nice area to live, I reckon. And skiing in the winter. Just gotta deal with the French, but that's right. No, Leger is a pretty sick spot, I reckon.
Yeah, Snowshoe. USA, baby!
Oh, that is a great question. Of this year's calendar.
I think any year. Yeah.
Okay, I am gonna go 2001 RI Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looked like an awesome World Cup race. Japan, I've always wanted to go there, sick food, and I've heard the skiing's dope, so.
Sick.
Yeah.
I also would like to live in Leger. I think Leger would be very nice. I think I could survive there. It's fairly English. The riding is phenomenal. Leger, final answer.
Nice.
I am French now.
I like it. If it was someone's first year, how are you going to tell them to get ready for it?
Be prepared for anything, like Schaefer was this morning. Rain gear, rain shoes, hot weather gear, bug mesh. It's pretty random. That's all. I think it's pretty hard for racers too, because you're not staying near the venue. In and out is kind of a pain in the ass. There's usually pretty terrible traffic, so like logistically you got to plan for extra time in the beginning and the end to get here and back. I don't think the track's anything crazy to prepare for. It's just weird weather conditions and rain and wind and bugs and bad food. But nice parking lot. It's pretty flat. Doing okay there. They got okay coffee in the cafe. Lunch was fine. The important stuff is okay.
I got one.
Go.
Well, it's not. Well, it's stupid.
No,
so let's get the real
no
stuff.
stupid questions, Schaefer.
No,
Stupid.
I don't know. Honestly, do you believe in ghosts?
I'm out of here.
All right.
Okay, see ya. Like everyone said, there's definitely been a ton of work put into this track. A lot of sections have been cleaned up and smoothed out, but there are still a ton of bikes about to come down this track. So who knows what it's gonna look like by race day on Saturday, but for now, we will see you tomorrow for practice.